In this session, we explore Dismantling the Ego, a diagnostic reading of Chapter 11, Section 5. We will treat the ego like a complex machine, mapping its structure, exposing its hidden assumptions, and clarifying how its thought system operates so we can consciously choose a healthier, truth-aligned alternative. Our first mandate is to look calmly. The ego's illusions survive only when we refuse to examine them. By shining a steady, non-judgmental light on confused thinking, we discover that what once felt threatening is actually harmless. Careful observation itself becomes the tool that begins to undo the ego. Here we see the contradiction of ego dynamics. True power belongs only to God, or reality, so the ego has no real force of its own. When we analyze the ego, we are not studying genuine dynamics, but a system of delusions. Because it has no actual effects, we can investigate it without fear. The ego's core directive is autonomy. It seeks to be separate, self-sufficient, and independent of any higher power. Every process in its system serves this goal. In contrast, the whole, God, operates through interconnection. Understanding this clash of purposes is essential to diagnosing ego-based decisions. Autonomy becomes a trap of self-imprisonment. First, the ego demands independence, severing connection to source. This leads to deprivation of power, then to a sense of extreme vulnerability. The inevitable outcome is fear. What was sold as strength actually shrinks the self and guarantees anxiety. To keep functioning, the ego must mask its core of fear. On the surface, we may appear lighthearted, distant, or even supercilious and desperate. These shallow emotions cap the terror underneath. If we fully acknowledged that terror, we would abandon the ego strategy altogether, so it works hard to keep fear hidden. Recognition of fear is the basic threat to the ego. The moment we see how much fear autonomy costs, the ego's bargain loses appeal. It responds with distraction and callousness. Educationally, this means our task is to notice fear clearly, understanding that anything separating us from God is only fear, not reality. This diagnostic matrix contrasts ego and truth. The ego's power source is the illusory self. It operates through powerless delusions, aims at autonomy and separation, and outputs fear disguised as aloofness. Truth draws power from God, functions through real dynamics, seeks joint will and interdependence, and results in perfect happiness. The ego runs on an impossible equation. First, autonomy requires separation. Second, separation demands a denial of love. Third, denying love inevitably generates fear. Therefore, ego autonomy equals fear. When we pursue ego goals believing they bring happiness, we are in effect choosing fear while labeling it joy. Dissolving the ego follows 4 mechanics. 1. Notice the mask, feelings of distance or callousness. 2. Shine the lamp. Look calmly beneath to find the fear. 3. Recognize its powerlessness. See it as a product of a disconnected, delusional system. 4. Dissolution. The illusion fades once it is truly seen as powerless. Joint will offers the alternative to ego autonomy. God's purpose cannot be defeated. His autonomy already includes ours. We realize true freedom not by separation, but by aligning with this shared will. Educationally, the key insight is that lasting happiness is impossible apart from this collaborative, unified purpose. We conclude with the sane choice. It is irrational to choose fear over love, or to believe love can be gained through attack. Sound judgment recognizes that attack only generates fear, while the love of God offers complete protection. Practically, sanity means consistently choosing non-attack and trust.